Hey everybody, hope all is well. Tonight I'm going to be doing just I know a lot of questions have been coming across as regards to uh, the Soul and the Soul 261, the Soul Series 261, 273. But I'm going to be doing the Soul 261 on this tutorial. Why? Because that's the one I have in front of me currently. Um, so, um, hope you all are doing good. I'd like to thank you all for coming in on tonight. Um, what I'm going to be doing is the for the 261 the overall parameters as regards to like the main potentiometers that's on the 261 um, and how do you navigate, adding effects and different um, different different effects to enhance the sound. Okay. All right. Matter of fact, let me put this over here. All right. Okay. So, all right. So first of all, let me share my screen. Um, Definitely want to do that. Um, so I can show you. I'm going on the manual of the PDF of the manual of the Soul 261, 273, 261, same thing. And as you can see, pretty much the difference, the slight difference of it, but they're first of all they use the same sound engine. Um, Tonight, what you're going to be hearing is just the Soul, no external Leslie, just the internal sim and stuff. I may be doing a little track as well. All right, so currently with the Soul 273, it does come with presets and the knobs, the buttons. It comes with buttons as the normal and soft, chorus vibrato, swell, and great. Those are bigger, but on the 261 you have the vibrato, chorus, upper, and lower. So you do have buttons, smaller buttons on the 261 versus the on the 273 of the bigger ones. The chorus knob are on both though. Also with the Leslie switch on the 261, it's already built into the organ. Versus the 273, there's an assignable switch that you can take out while you're moving, which I think is a plus. All right. But as you can tell, the overall setup of the Soul 260, the Soul 261, and the 273, they're very similar. As you can look right here, you see the four sets of drawbars: one, two, three, four, one, two, three, four. And then you have the bass pedals down here as well. The percussion side is over here, just as here. Just that the buttons are smaller on the 261 versus the 273. You have the bigger, larger buttons, but you have the potentiometer, the three knobs over here for the 273 as well as the 261. Over here, you have five knobs for both. As you see, the orientation of them is different on the 261, how they're set up, but they do the same function. Okay. Um, as well with here. You have the display as well over here, and you have the knobs and so forth. Now, little differences, but they're pretty much the same um, as regards to that. All right, so I'm going to zoom in a bit. Gonna go down. So we all can see what we got going on here. All right, there you go. You have the volume, the main volume knob, which is main volume, controls the general overall volume gain of the organ, and you have the main effects, the key click. All right, a lot of people ask you about like a couple of my settings that I've done. The key click, I apart from the editor, which I'll discuss about that on another tutorial. Um, with the excuse me, with the key click is just pretty much the click. The click is just coming from the manuals on normal from a general or Hammond. Typical keyboard clicks, which is the manuals when it's clicking on each of the bus bars. I'm sorry, on the Hammond organ. Someone correct me if I said it in the wrong way, but it's pretty much that's what it does. On a normal Hammond, you have nine mechanical contacts, so you hear that clickish sound. The crosstalk is the noise generated from electromechanical organs, like from the Hammond coming from the generator. And then you have the reverb knob as well, that produces reverberated signal. You have the rotary amp gain, rotary slash amp gain, that adjusts the gain of the input signal to the rotary amp effect with the knob all the way to the left. There is no gain turning it clockwise. It increases the gain until obtain distortion. So pretty much what that is for, if you're using the internal sim, and you want the gain on the rotary sim, you can adjust that, and that produces a form of, it makes the pretty much the Leslie have a warm effect, and if you crank it up, then it'll have a form of slight distortion type of effect. And pretty much in the Hammond organ world, in the Leslie world, what happens when you put a gain on, when you turn up the organ and you crank it up on a vintage 122 147, the 6550 power supply tubes, what happens is that they produce, because they're at high levels, so it pushes the tube at an accelerated high decibel, so it produces at a certain frequency, well, the frequency also, but it overclocks pretty much, and in results of that, it gives off a distortion sound. But before I do that, I'm going to go back to the key click here. Let's start with the key click. So currently I have my key click at, say, 9 o'clock. I have a little reverb as well. And then what you're hearing is the crosstalk. So let's kill the reverb, let's kill the crosstalk so y'all can hear what's going on here, and the gain of the rotary. So key click is at, it's not too much for those who like a slight key click. Now if you want more, you can add it by turning it up. All right, so and it sounds really good. Be mindful when you're using an external Leslie, like for example the or speaker, like the spin tone, or vortex. The key click is definitely present in any external speaker, but when you have a like speakers like the spin tone, the vortex at 3300, 122H, 142H, um, or a vintage Leslie, depending on what's going on with the driver and the amp amp section, it produces a lot more key click through the external Leslie. So your settings using what I'm saying is when you're using the internal setting of the key click, it may not be as much, but depending on how you tweak it on the editor and so forth. And what I've done with different models on these organs, these models I've tweaked them using the editor. So each of these models, which I'm currently using the 50s model right now, has a different type of key click. Okay. All right. So now that's at 12 o'clock. So if you want more, you can just. But I'm gonna put it back to where I'm at. So now let's go to the crosstalk. So people ask me, okay, I like how you have certain crosstalk features, like your organ has this breathy tone. All I do is add my key click with my crosstalk. I make sure that my key click is not too clickish, because I don't like my key click to be too clickish. I like my key click to be very pronounced, but also subtle and well controlled. Okay. Now for the crosstalk is like pretty much an overtone. You hear that? And you can hear it a lot even when the Leslie's on stop, but you hear it more when the Leslie's going into the Doppler effect of the slow and the fast. Especially when you turn on the chorus vibrato, it pushes it. And then now, like for example, say I want a nice breathy tone, a little reverb, add a little reverb to widen the sound a bit, giving that nice bounce back, like I'm in a hall or somewhere. And then I'll just add my rotary amp, say around 8 o'clock. So pretty much my kick is at, say, around 9, 10. Crosstalk's around 10 o'clock. The reverb is at 10, 9:30, 10, well, 10 o'clock pretty much. and then my rotary amp is at 9. So now you get a nice tone. I'll add more crosstalk because I like that leakage, that heaviness that comes with it. Now I'm gonna add a little, add the chorus vibrato on C3, currently on C3. Ah, there you go. And now you can hear that nice, you hear the chorus is very nice and thick. As that mid 60s, you know, red line box or GI, but more, this is more of a red line box, red cap line box. But you can hear the crosstalk and some of the frequencies like. Put it on stop mode. Let me put the Leslie on stop. All right. So now we have the chorus vibrato buttons, which I did turn on. The vibrato, great. On the 273 is it represents the one on the bottom, the bottom manual. On your bottom manual on the Hammond vintage organ, the lower manual is called the great. And then on the top, you call it the swell manual. So the vibrato great is for the bottom manual, and the vibrato swell is for the top manual. On the 261, it's called vibrato upper and lower. Okay, just to make it more easier for younger organists that's trying to understand the knowledge and trying to get the knowledge of it. And then you have the vibrato. 1, 2, V2, V3. Let me turn this on slow. So right here, it's currently on C3. So when you turn off the chorus vibrato on and off on, turn it off on both manuals, you can hear that straight tone. The switch is on break. So now if I turn it, it's currently on C3. So C3 is the most popular, which most jazz players like because they use that, C3 with that percussion. All right, now that's good. Now what you do, we have the C3, you have the V1. So that's C3. Now you got the V3, which is vibrato 3. C3 means chorus 3, and it's telling you the amount of chorus and the vibrato together. But V3, C2, V2, C1, V1, and you have the C3. Okay. All right, so you got that going. That's good. All right, so that's that. All right, let's talk about the. Let's move down here. You have the drawbars. Now on the 273, you have the presets normally that represent normal vintage Hammond or vintage Hammond organ, which is the B flat B preset, which controls the drawbar, the sets of drawbars for set A and so forth. Now on the 261, you have the A and B um, um, sets. So A is in charge of the top of the first on the grade, the first one right here, right? And then the second one is for B. Same applies for the top. A is for over here and B for over here, okay? For the sets of 9 sets of drawbars, okay? Um, and then you have the pedal board drawbars and stuff, which is your 16 and your 8th. All right. Percussion. We did talk about the percussion, part of the percussion earlier with the jazz players. You know how they use their stuff. So with percussion, all right. So you have the percussion on and off. You have the percussion decay, depending on how you want to decay this. So if I turn it up, it's currently at 12 o'clock, but now I'm putting that, say, around 2 o'clock. Okay, you can definitely hear the tone of it. You definitely hear. Yeah, that's. Yeah, that sounds good. All right, and then you have the soft and normal. If you turn the soft and normal, if you put it on soft, the percussion level is tamed down a bit. It's pretty much it would pretty much like I'm going to use as an example, and if this probably would make sense on a piano. If you use the soft pedal, you can dampen the tom of the tone or the tom of the quality of the sound of the piano. Now in the percussion and the organ world, the percussion, if you turn this to normal, you'll definitely hear. You know, if I turn up the volume up, let me turn up the volume of the percussion so we can hear more. Yeah. So if it's on normal, you're going to definitely hear the normal level or gauge level of the percussion. Now, if you turn it on soft, you hear it, but it's not as much present because it's on soft because you're dampening the percussion. Then you have the fast and slow. The fast. So for different styles, whatever. Now you have the third and the second harmonic of the percussion, right? So the third, which we just heard. Okay. The second. That's pretty nice. All right. So that's one. So we pretty much did the first part of the, of the organ. All right. So, it's good when you dial in and, and I'm using this as, I'm showing you all this as examples of how I do my little settings. Now, you don't have to necessarily tweak it like how I tweak it, but I'm giving you the knowledge of what of each of these parameters they do. Okay. So like for drawbar presets, the A and B, let me go back to that right here. I think I went a little bit too far. All right, so say if I want to do my octaves like little solo stuff here, okay, on the swell manual. So that's, I have 8 and 4 drawbar, the type drawbar, 8 and 4, which is 2 whites over here. All right. And then over here, I got the first 3, the 16, 5 and 1/3, I believe. 1 and 3/5, I'm sorry. And then I got the 8th with the percussion. I do that sometimes because sometimes if I want to do percussion, but let me turn on the third harmonic. All right. Now, say if I wanted to do runs down here and have, sometimes what I do, sometimes I use the 2 white drawbars down here as well too. That's good. Then you have let's see here, we have B. We have B here for full drawbars, which I already have all my drawbars set up. And now because I have all the full drawbars, you're gonna hear that crosstalk heaviness. So if you want to dial it down, there you go. So say if I'm, gospel, I'm in church. Just switching between different sets, drawbars. So say if I'm doing a yes, Lord. I want to go to church. Let's go to full drawbars. Want to growl. Now I switch it back. Pull out that. You can hear all that nice. All right, so that's good. Now let's move down to the controls here. I think there was some controls that we were missing down here. So I have the pretty much the, let's see, FX on. Yeah, let's talk about the master EQ controls, which is the bass, the mids, and the highs. It's pretty much the three band EQ that has three potentiometers of the gain of the bass frequency, the gain of the middle frequency, and the gain of the treble frequency, which is your bass, mids, and highs. And you can turn it down to minus 12 decibels, and then you can add it up to 12 decibels. Depends on what you want to do. I have currently mine's on. I know for my bass it's currently at 2 o'clock position. The mids are on my 12 o'clock position, and the treble is at my say around 1:30 position, 1:45 position, almost 2 o'clock. All right, and let's see down here for those who are talking about effects and all that type of stuff. All right, so Viscount has released and have done released different controls and effects on the organ on this model, on the Soul series models, 273, 261. Whereas if you want your effects, you just turn, there's an effects on button, which is right here. I'm gonna try to show you all the, oh, let me go back down here. Both I should be able to see the picture. I don't know how is it that oh, I think I went too far. But let me go back down, go back up. There we go. All right, let's go over here. All right, so you have the rate of FX on button, which does return on. Currently, mine's on the wah wah. So if I turn up the rate, there's a rate where, so giving that wah wah effect. And I use the pitch bend right here. I don't really use this, not my type of taste, but but it's good though. You have the amount. No, so you got that effect. Next one from the wah wah, you have the overdrive, the ring mod actually. So let me put the Leslie on the sim on break, so you can hear that wah 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 ring mod. Pretty much emulating the sim. That's cool. All right. Um, Next one you got is the overdrive. It's got a dirt. And then next one you got is a tremolo. Tremolo vibrato. You know, that's all that type of stuff. Yeah, a little ghouly stuff. And then you have the delay effect. All right, but before I go up, there's on the top sheet block, you have something called the transpose button for musicians who can't play in all their keys. If you want to click on transpose, I don't use it because I played all my keys. Excuse me. Uh, but yeah, that's for like it's provided. Viscount is provided for musicians that need transpose. Need transpose their music or whatever not. And then you have the model button, which is it consists of the tone wheel, the pipe, which is right now I'm on the pipe. I'm currently on the tone wheel. I'm sorry. Now and then you have the pipe. And the drawbars do work for it too, and that's good. Let me turn some reverb on. So all that good stuff. And then you have the different types of pipe and stuff. You have the Baroque and all that. If you use the knob to switch, you can choose the type model of these organs. And you have the Farfisa organ. Um, uh, you know, all that good stuff. For musicians who desire to do, all the type of different genres of music, pop, funk, all that type of stuff. Okay? All right, so let's go back to the tone. Oh, let me go back to the tone wheel right here, back to the 50s. Yeah. And also, need to mention too, the 1 and 2 presets. You can actually program those presets. I think I did one on this one here. Let me see. Yep. So that's one. This one is the default, but I'm gonna program this one as well. But this one. So if I don't want to use the drawbars, I already have a preset selected for that. All right. So pretty much that's really it for the controls, and you have your audio, the rear panels and so forth, which right here. So you have the audio out, which you can do your LNR stereo pedals, and if you want to send the signal of the pedal, say you don't want to hear that whoop. Hear that? Say you don't want to hear all that, the whoopiness. You can send a line out to hear that stationary. So that's cool. And then you have the aux1, the aux2, and then you have also the foot switch. If you want to use the switch from the organ, the rotary switch, you can use the foot switch. You have the foot controller, the expression, the key B for the pedals down here, and you have the aux1 and 2, aux1 and 2 as well for like different external loops, machines that if you want to use effects and stuff, that kind of stuff. You have the USB host in which you can use the editor, for example, and then you have the flash drive over there as well. So then you have the power button and the main 11 pin, and then you have the analog in. So it's just pretty much standard based setup for a clone wheel organ. It's a very good organ. This is one of the prime of all the Viscount organs. All the Viscount organs are very good. But I like this one because this one is the master of all of them, where you can really the contact system is everything. You just have all that. Yeah, and that's my thing. If I'm going to play something, I have to hear all the context, just like the vintage. Unlike some other companies that don't produce their contact um, system correctly, they don't, yeah, they don't do it right. But for Viscount, yes, it's a plus. So that's pretty much it, guys. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to be playing a song with a couple of my settings, which is when I mean settings like the one I just tweaked on the organ as regards the parameters of what we're talking about tonight, and then we should be out. All right. So say for example, let me do something churchy. All right. So that's it, guys, for today. I really thank you all so much for coming in. And I will definitely do some more tutorials. Now, this was just a base part of the parameters. I have not touched on the display inside of the effects and all that type of stuff. So we're gonna do more of that in the next couple tutorials to come. Okay. So I really appreciate you all, and I'll definitely see you on the next tutorials. Y'all take care.